So today we're gonna look at a scenario where civilization starts over. We are on episode 9 of the series. In the last episode, it was mainly focusing on Africa, but now Normandy can no longer expand, and there was some expansion in the Alps. Today there's gonna be, in this episode there's gonna be a lot more discovery, and maybe the discovery of China and a lot more nations. So let's get into this episode. We see these Indian nations make a collaborative effort to begin discovering more land up this coast. And they begin doing that. They discover more land up this coast, and then there's some people which decide to sell up here, forming the country of, Bangladesh. Just trying to... this looks like a good club. They form this dark turquoise country, and they decide to put their capital in this major city right here, and boom, that's where their capital is. They begin discovering more up here. Meanwhile, the other group begins discovering more through the Myanmar jungle, which is very difficult, but eventually China hears that there might be explorers, and so they begin discovering more land, going out through Vietnam's highland and Laos. And they meet up with the explorers officially now these guys know about these guys. And they discover all of this, and there's gonna be a couple civilizations which are gonna be settling here, being a country of Vietnam. They settle over here, and this is where they are. They settle over here. We're already 2 minutes and there's already this much. There's now like this, I'm going to get the colour of this painting, and I'm going to just change it to like this lavender kind of colour. They decide to settle up in Burma, where they set up basically what will be called Burma, but in, modern day Myanmar. And there's one more which settles up. Actually, no, that's too similar to the Vietnam. They decide to settle up right here, this Korean nation in Thailand. And that's going to do it in Southeast Asia, which can just expand the Korean nation a bit. They don't decide to set up their capitals yet. They'll wait a bit. But now we're down to Arabia, where there's a lot of people discovering it's southern Arabia. And the same thing goes for Persia. He's also discovering a lot of Arabia, discovering about this much. And yeah, this is how much they discover. And there's gonna be the division of the land, with Persia getting a good amount first. They expand up here. And yeah, they also expand into the UAE, expanding their colony to be giant. And there's also a new country which sells up in Qatar. Yeah. And then another one in Arabia. They settle up in Arabia, and this is where they decide to settle their nation down in Arabia. Eventually, some Sudanese explorers get lost, just like the ones how the Dutch explorers got lost, and they decided to settle in the Netherlands. Yeah, they discovered a part of Arabia. I don't know why that's there. And yeah, they also discovered a part of Somalia where they decided to set up a new nation, which will be like this. This country right here. It will be in Djibouti, but it will also be down the Somali coast. They also want this island. There's now a couple more nations, with Korea now deciding to explore a lot more up this. And some people are going to decide to settle everywhere, being in Scotland. And they decide to settle it's like kind of peachish country. It's gonna be right. You know, let's do some more. So, wait, do I have a peach country? No, but I'm gonna make it this kind of peach. And yeah, settle off Pensacola. And a lot more discovery in Northern Arabia with now the division of this land, with Egypt taking about this much right here, so I can build that in. Kuwait's gonna expand. Now, will now meet up with Qatar, so they expand to look like this. And yeah, same thing with this country, which also expands to look like this. And Qatar expands up here to look like, and boom, they look like this now. With tons of exploration, which eventually discovers Arabia, which leads to more nations popping up, like a nation right here, and a nation right here. And one about here, blocking off Persia from expanding into the Middle East. So yeah, this is what I'll set the capitals after the video. And over here, these African guys now know about each other because Greece eventually discovers that Libya is a thing. And yeah. So Greece now just does operations to discover a portion of the Balkans. And yeah, they do a lot of exploration right here. Become way larger than what they are right now. And boom, they expand. And yeah, that's going to. And Ukraine discovered there's more of here, and yeah. We'll also expand more, meeting up with Greece, and yeah, there's gonna be an invasion now happening, which is gonna be this Indian country right here, gonna be invading the weakest country on the peninsula, which is this country right here, and yeah. Indian troops march down, and they quickly, yeah, this country's just no match for them. They were the last to form, despite in the video they all formed at the same time. They were the last ones to form. They take the peninsula, but they tried to make a landing. They tried to make a landing on Sri Lanka, but it gets repelled, which they decided to draw up a peace treaty where this country would flee down to Sri Lanka, and yeah, they would remain down in Sri Lanka. They put their capital all the way at their southern most major city, so it would take them a while to get there, and boom, they annexed their mainland. So yeah, and they also expand up here, and yeah, and the final event of this video actually no, there'll be a couple of events, is Libya expanding here, they expand around the coast, and yeah, Libya also expands down into Egypt. Greece buys the Corsican colony in Algeria, I guess. And yeah, begin expanding down into Africa. But for once, there's going to be a rebellion in Greece. And the people are saying, stop this expansion, stop this expansion. And it's going to pop up in southern Turkey. They want to stop the expansionism of Greece. And yeah, they quickly gain support from the people here, and Greece decides to just let them go as their own country. And they'll change their colour to like this colour, as they will become their own new country, looking like, and they look like this. Boom. And they also take Cyprus. And yeah, capital. Well, this is also final then, and boom. Place a couple right here. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope you really liked it. If you did, you can subscribe if you want, and if you did, you can also leave a like, and thank you for watching, and bye.